law enforcement officials seized 15,000 fentanyl pills found inside a Lego toy box in New York City. Congressman Dan Crenshaw, Republican from Texas, joins me. Congressman, more than 80,000 Americans have died from opioids in the past year. Is the administration doing anything about this?
Well, it wouldn't seem so. I mean, that's 80,000 just from fentanyl. I mean, we have well over 100,000 opioid overdose deaths total. And so fentanyl comes from very specific sources, and this is the Mexican drug cartels, and they get their basic components imported from China. And so it's not that often that we can trace back a poison that is murdering tens of thousands of Americans to very specific organizations. And does this administration talk about it like we're on a war footing, which we are, with these cartels? No, they don't. They let them continue to make money. As you just noted in this report, they make a lot of money simply charging immigrants as they cross the river, and then again when they're across the other side. So they make billions of dollars doing this. And the Biden administration throws up their hands and says, oh, we can't do anything about this. So they're enriching this extremely dangerous, extremely capable, extremely well-funded, murderous cartel. It's not just murdering, Mexican government officials, as they do all the time, and terrorizing them, but they are murdering tens of thousands of Americans. Are we doing enough? We're absolutely not doing it enough. You have to be on a war footing and look at these people like the threat to national security like they actually are.
Right before Halloween, they come putting fentanyl in kids' candy. That's disgraceful. Now, Congressman, we just spoke to John Kirby. He is denying that the U.S. is negotiating directly with Venezuela on oil. He says Maduro has work to do before we do a deal. President Biden was just asked about the Venezuela talks moments ago, and he said everything is on the table. So why are we trying to make deals with dictators, Congressman?
Well, it's a long-time habit of Joe Biden, if you haven't noticed, whether it's Saudis, Iranians, or Venezuelans. And in part, there's a few elements to the Venezuelan issues. First of all, even under Trump, Chevron was asking to be allowed to even have its assets in Venezuela so that Maduro couldn't go and just take them and sell them for $5 or $6 billion. There's a negotiation of U.S. prisoners that's happening right now. But it's also yet another foreign policy failure by Biden. Recently, you noticed, and I don't think this is coincidental, that Saudi Arabia announced they're going to cut production and raise prices. Now, why are they doing that? Because Biden keeps negotiating with the Iranian Ayatollahs, which obviously makes the Saudis mad. Biden left a power vacuum in Afghanistan, which makes the Saudis mad. So they're sending him a message, unfortunately. They're not our friends, right? They're transactional allies, and we have to understand that. And so now, Biden, instead of telling the U.S. oil industry, you know what, we're going to permit, we're going to lease, we're going to do what you need to do for production, they're going to go to Venezuela. And this is what frustrates Americans. Why won't you just be nice to American oil and gas? The Keystone Pipeline was meant to replace Venezuelan oil. Now you're going back to Venezuela.
It's crazy. I don't get it. Anyway, John Kirby, on this show moments ago, he doubled down on vaccine mandates on the military. He won't back off. You're a former Navy SEAL. I just don't understand this. You're firing 20,000 military people because they won't get a vaccine that doesn't work. I don't get it, Congressman.
Yeah, my frustration on this, we've always had to take vaccines in the military, and everybody who had refused it had previously taken vaccines. So the military is a little different than every other organization. That being said, the punishment that's been doled out for this particular refusal to take this particular vaccine has been excessive compared to what the military could have done. There's plenty of options under the UCMJ. You don't have to kick out tens of thousands of military members to do this, and especially at a time like this, when recruitment is down, when we're already having problems getting people into the military. This seemed very political. It seemed very spiteful. And it's not good for our military. It's not good for America. I don't know why they've had to put their foot down so hard on this. Like you said, we know now that whether you take the vaccine or not, the virus has pretty much gone through the population, and you can be safe. Right? There's a good chance you've already had it. Natural immunity is a pretty good bulwark against future infection, as the science has shown. So there's no good logical reason for them to put their foot down so hard on this.
And John Kirby spoke to us from quarantine. He's fully vaxxed, fully boosted, and he's still got COVID, and he's in quarantine. Anyway, that's another story. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
A lot of virtue signaling.
Okay, got it. See you later, sir.